Prepare yourselves, fellow survivors, for an apocalypse like you've never seen before. The moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon is upon us. While the undead have ravaged the world, leaving destruction in their wake, there's one man who refuses to bow down. That man is Daryl Dixon, and he's back with a vengeance. Daryl's journey takes him across the treacherous landscapes of zombie-infested Europe. Armed with his trusty crossbow and a heart filled with unwavering determination, he's ready to face new horrors, forge unexpected alliances, and confront the darkness that surrounds him. With each step he takes, Daryl Dixon redefines what it means to survive in a world where the line between the living and the dead is blurred. In this episode, we are gonna explore everything you need to know about Daryl. Let's do this. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Daryl Dixon in a nutshell. Let's talk about Daryl, not just any survivor, but Norman Reedus himself, the man from Boondock Saints who brought this character to life. And here's the kicker, Daryl wasn't even plucked from Robert Kirkman's comic book like most of the main cast. He's a breed apart, an original in a world of adaptations. But what sets Daryl apart even more is his knack for staying alive, on and off the screen. Survival is his middle name, so it's no surprise that the network's cooking up a spin-off to keep his adventures rolling, alongside his trusty friend Carol. Daryl's journey, it's one for the books. He's come a long way since his survivalist days in the South. Back then, he was a bit of a stereotype, but fast forward to today, and you've got a principled leader, a moral compass, and a guy who'll move mountains to protect his chosen family, the one that actually gives a damn about him. From his roots as a rugged survivalist to the fully fledged character he's become, Daryl's transformation is a testament to the world of The Walking Dead. So, as we gear up for more of his adventures, let's raise a glass to how far he's come and to the undead world that shaped him. Cheers to the Dixon we know today. Challenging beginnings. Before the world turned into a playground for walkers, Daryl's life was far from a fairy tale. He grew up in an abusive household, where parental love meant beatings or neglect. His only lifeline was his older brother Merle, a real piece of work. To put it mildly, Merle, a bigoted criminal, wasn't exactly a poster boy for good parenting. The brothers had their ups and downs, but they reconnected after their father's demise. By that time, they were survivalist drifters, living life on the wrong side of the law. Their upbringing in the rugged mountains of northern Georgia had forged them into tough cookies, ready for the apocalypse before it even hit. Our first glimpse of Daryl comes when he and Merle join up with Shane's group of survivors, living on the outskirts of Atlanta. Daryl, the hunter of the duo, stumbles upon a group that's just rescued Rick Grimes. But as luck would have it, Merle decides to showcase his ugly side, prompting Rick to handcuff him to a rooftop as walkers close in for a deadly rooftop buffet. Daryl returns from his hunt to find his brother missing in action, and he's hell-bent on a rescue mission. Sadly, Merle's a master of escaping tight spots, and the rescue turns into a wild goose chase. Still, Daryl sticks around, joining the group on a perilous journey to the CDC, hoping for answers about the outbreak. What they find, though, is a grim reality. The virus is even nastier than they ever imagined. Daryl is more than what meets the eye. Daryl Dixon, the group's resident tough nut armed with one sharp crossbow, starts to unveil a softer side in Season 2. The turning point? When he gets separated from his brother long enough for his empathy to peek through the gruff exterior. It all goes down on the highway, with a zombie herd hot on their heels. Amid the chaos, Carol's daughter Sophia vanishes into the woods. Daryl, using his top-notch tracking skills, dedicates a good chunk of the season to finding the 12-year-old. But a nasty fall nearly costs him his life, forcing him to reluctantly hit pause on the search. The bittersweet truth eventually emerges: Sophia became one of the Walking Dead shortly after going missing. Yet Daryl's unwavering determination to find her earns him respect from both Carol and the group. This change of heart coincides with Rick's growing distrust of his former right-hand man Shane. Their feud escalates to a fatal showdown, leaving Rick in need of a new wingman. As the farm they're sheltering on gets swarmed by walkers, Daryl escapes with Carol. It's during this time that Carol hints at him becoming the group's leader, but Daryl's loyalty remains firmly with Rick, and he shuts down any talk of a power shift. The crossbow-wielding survivor proves that beneath the rugged exterior lies a steadfast ally, earning his place as one of the group's pillars. Times change. People change too. Daryl's loyalty faces its first real test when the group crosses paths with their inaugural villain, the Governor. This season marks a pivotal moment for Daryl as he plays a crucial role in the group seizing control of a prison, a rare sanctuary in their world of chaos. But tragedy strikes when Rick's wife Lori loses her life, sending Rick into a mental tailspin. It's Daryl who steps up as the second in command during this turbulent period. The group also uncovers the menace lurking in Woodbury, the Governor's community, leading Daryl to spearhead a daring mission to rescue Maggie and Glenn. However, his newfound leadership is put to the test when he discovers that his long-lost brother Merle has been surviving in Woodbury. In a surprising twist, it's Merle who ultimately chooses Daryl over the Governor, and the two escape back to the prison. However, Daryl's homecoming isn't all roses. Merle's presence proves divisive, leading to tension within the group. Daryl has evolved, and he can no longer condone his brother's actions. He returns to the prison just in time to help defend against the Governor's assault. The final showdown looms as Merle attempts to assassinate the Governor, a mission that ends in failure. In a heart-wrenching moment, Daryl arrives too late to save his brother and is forced to end his life as a walker. Daryl's transformation from a rugged survivor to a pivotal leader is etched in blood and heartache as he bids farewell to his old life, forever changed by the apocalypse. Making his way up, Merle's demise left Daryl with no other option but to immerse himself in the prison colony. The downfall of Woodbury brought a flood of the Governor's former followers into the prison colony, creating a pressing need for leadership. Daryl had a knack for scavenging vital resources, and that really helped the citizens, who were ill-equipped to fend for themselves. His days were largely spent venturing beyond the safe walls on scavenging missions. However, the Governor's vengeful return altered the course of events. In a brutal showdown, Daryl emerged as one of the fiercest fighters, even orchestrating a cunning move to neutralize a tank. The conflict left the prison in ruins and the survivors on the run. In the chaos, Daryl escaped with Beth, and their bond deepened during their time together. But tragedy struck once again when Beth was abducted. Daryl then crossed paths with a group known as the Claimers, led by the ruthless Joe, who adhered to a cutthroat finders-keepers philosophy. They embodied the survival instincts Daryl had honed before the apocalypse, and he reluctantly fell in with them, regressing somewhat. Yet when the Claimers posed a grave threat to Rick, Michonne, and Carl on the road, with intentions of violence and assault, Daryl rediscovered his true identity. He played a pivotal role in thwarting the aggressors and protecting his newfound companions, reaffirming his humanity in the face of brutality. Once a savage, always a savage. Daryl's journey has been one heck of an evolution, from outlaw to a crucial member of what's left of humanity. Season 5 flips the script entirely. He and Rick head to Terminus, expecting safety, but within a day, they realize it's crawling with cannibalistic psychos. The group makes a hasty exit. With the prison destroyed in the battle and Terminus being a sham, they hit the road with scarce supplies. This kind of survival ordeal is old hat for Daryl, but this time, life on the road throws some real gut punches. The gut-wrenching loss of Beth, who he rescued only for her to sacrifice herself, taking out her captor's leader, hits him hard. Daryl and the gang wander aimlessly, just trying to stay alive. The weight of their losses hangs over them like a dark cloud, a constant reminder of the world they once knew. It's a daily struggle, not just against the undead but against their own demons. Luckily, they cross paths with Aaron, a guy who promises to lead them to a legit sanctuary called Alexandria. They're skeptical but desperate, so they give it a shot. What they find is a neighborhood that walled itself off when the world went to hell. While the other survivors want to embrace a hint of their old lives, Daryl's not having it. No cozy house, no warm showers, and no cozy chats for him. Civilized life isn't his thing, and he's not about to change that anytime soon. The scars on his heart run deep, and he's not sure if Alexandria can ever mend them. The Final Clash. Season 10 puts the spotlight on Daryl and Carol's dynamic, a relationship tested by Carol's unrelenting thirst for revenge against Alpha. This pursuit leads to betrayal and the rise of fresh threats that force them to band together against Beta's horde. The impending clash with Beta and internal conflicts within the group cast a shadow of uncertainty over the survivors as they prepare for the ultimate showdown with the Whisperers. But Daryl, the eternal lone wolf, finds himself partnered up once more. While out, he unexpectedly crosses paths with Judith Grimes. Ever the mentor, Daryl imparts some wisdom to the young survivor, inadvertently stumbling upon crucial information. Together, they eliminate a Whisperer who was fleeing Beta's madness, revealing that even someone hiding behind Walker's skin acknowledges Beta's descent into madness in his quest for vengeance. When the Whisperers corner everyone in the tower and Beta disrupts their plan with blaring loudspeakers, Daryl takes charge. He leads the survivors on a daring mission to eliminate the remaining Whisperers amidst the relentless horde. In a dramatic twist, Negan encounters Beta and provokes him into a deadly confrontation. Just when it seems Beta has the upper hand, Daryl emerges from the shadows, gouging out both of Beta's eyes. With his true identity exposed, Beta's reign of terror ends. The war against the Whisperers concludes and Daryl emerges victorious once more. He reconciles with Carol, a crucial step given the uncertainties that lie ahead. As they brace for the next chapter, Daryl knows he'll need every ally he can muster to keep his people safe in this new world of threats. What next? When The Walking Dead took its final bow in the chilly winter of 2022, some of our favorite characters got their dues, but there were still a few nagging loose ends left untied. Take Negan and Maggie Green for instance. They're gearing up for a zombie-stomping adventure in The Walking Dead Dead City. And then there's Daryl Dixon, who opted for a quieter exit. In a heartfelt chat with his close buddy Carol, he decided it was time to wander off solo, chasing something he couldn't quite put his finger on. He waved goodbye to the Commonwealth and set out on his own journey. And guess what? That journey's now the star of the show in The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Yep, you'll be following Daryl as he roams the post-apocalyptic world, kinda like a zombie-slaying Wolverine, in search of, well, who knows exactly. But that's the fun part, isn't it? How long do we have to wait? In May 2023, Walking Dead fans were given an exclusive sneak peek behind the scenes, spilling the undead beans that Daryl Dixon is currently under production. But the real treat was catching glimpses of our beloved Daryl striding down a desolate road, clutching a firearm with a look of unwavering determination. And they've gone all out with the French setting, shooting the series on location in France. Now, some of the eagle-eyed fans might remember that this setup was originally meant to be a dynamic duo, focusing on both Carol and Daryl. Word on the street was that Melissa McBride wasn't initially sold on the idea, hesitating to commit months of her life to overseas adventures. But hey, it seems like she's had a change of heart and we're here for it. Now the burning question, when can we feast our eyes on Daryl Dixon? Well, a nifty little teaser dropped the news that we'll be reuniting with our crossbow-wielding zombie annihilator come fall 2023. Circle the date, folks, because AMC announced in July 2023 that The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will grace both cable and its AMC Plus streaming service screens on September 10, 2023. Get your popcorn ready. So, what's new? An enticing plot teaser was served up alongside the official trailer back in May. It goes like this. Daryl Dixon embarks on a riveting journey through France, his ultimate goal being to find his way back. But hold on, there's more to the story. AMC dropped a meteor synopsis back in February 2023. It spills the beans that Daryl's adventure takes an intriguing twist. He wakes up on the shores of France, dazed and confused, with not a single memory of how he ended up there and why. In a delightful plot twist, he becomes an unlikely ally to a rebellious human force determined to keep the flame of hope alive deep within the underground. And guess what? Their spirited antics begin to throw a wrench into Daryl's plans for a swift return to the good old USA. But Norman Reedus himself spill the beans, promising a whole new ballgame. According to him, we're in for a treat with a fresh story, new characters, a different tone, lighting, sound, you name it. It's all drenched in a whole new vibe. And producer Greg Nicotero is right there with him, affirming that this ain't your typical rehash. It's a tantalizing extension of the genre, loaded with novel characters and themes that'll satisfy the cravings of die-hard storytelling nerds. What about the cast? No surprises here, folks. Norman Reedus will be leading the charge, reprising his role as a crossbow-wielding icon himself. But wait, there's more. AMC has assembled quite the ensemble to breathe life into this undead world. According to Deadline, we've got Clemence Poisy, Adam Nagaitis, Anne Cherrier, Eric Abwani, Laika Blanc-Francourt, Romain Levi, and the TV debutant Louis Puech joining the ranks. Poisy takes on the role of Isabel, Daryl's companion on the wild ride. She's at the helm of a progressive religious group, and trust me, she's got some skeletons in her closet that'll come rattling out as she journeys with our hero. Nagaitis steps into the shoes of Quinn, an English expatriate, knee-deep in the black market business. He's the man behind the curtain at Demimonde, an underground club where Daryl's bound to make an appearance. While we're still decoding the character details for Cherrier's Jeanette, Levi's Caudron, Francourt's Sylvie, Ebwani's Fallow, and Skiglouz's Laurent, you can bet your last bullet that they're going to add layers to this gripping tale. Any news on Season 2? While we've been sinking our teeth into the summer 2023 run of The Walking Dead: Dead City, AMC has been busy tantalizing us with peeks, teasing what's next in the ever-expanding Walking Dead saga. The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, this new kid on the block, isn't set to premiere its debut season until the hallowed halls of September 2023. But AMC is not playing around. They see something big in the making, a story that demands more than just one outing. Cue the drumroll, fellas. At the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con, the bigwigs at AMC Studios, led by the man of the hour, Dan McDermott, made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the fandom. They've officially greenlit a second season of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. Yes, you heard that right. We're doubling down on Daryl as he takes the apocalypse to the heart of France. McDermott himself couldn't contain his excitement. "We're thrilled to double down on Daryl as we bring the apocalypse to France," he declared, and fans are chomping at the bit for more undead adventures. Marvelous verdict. With all the tidbits we've gathered, you're now armed and ready to dive into the thrilling world of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. No passport required for this wild journey across the undead-infested landscapes of Europe. Norman Reedus is locked and loaded, and we are all eagerly awaiting the moment he steps back into Daryl Dixon's boots. As the tension mounts and the undead hordes close in, our hero will face challenges like never before. Unlikely alliances, unexpected betrayals, and heart-stopping encounters await. So stock up on supplies, sharpen your survival skills, and prepare for a roller coaster ride through the apocalypse. This one promises to be an unforgettable chapter in this beloved universe, and we can't wait to witness Daryl's resilience and resourcefulness on full display once more. September can come soon enough, and we'll be right there with you, braving the horrors of the zombie-infested world from the comfort of our screens. Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping adventure, and remember, survival is just the beginning. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time.